started this workout with some core. I don't usually do it, so this is a good chance for me to work my core. Basically, yeah, that's it. A quick tip or word of advice for anyone who trains on the regular or is very consistent. Some workouts it's really good to start with something that you don't usually start with, just to switch it up and shock your body. One of the greatest bodybuilders, arguably the greatest bodybuilder of all time, Arnold Schwarzenegger, actually said that one of the main ways he grew and got such a good physique is because he was always interested in shocking his body. So, for example, if you always do pull-ups at the start of your workout or dips or any other big body movement, you can do something like this where you're using your core instead at the start of your workout, and your body will basically not expect it, and you will shock your body into new growth. I personally started off with the single leg dragon flag just to kind of warm up my body, and um, yeah, it's really helpful for the front lever as well. So that's another good thing about the dragon flag. It basically mimics the front lever in terms of the legs and the lower body. And basically, yeah, what I did was the dragon flag, single leg, and then straight into these knee cycles here. So one of the things that I want to do is actually bring up my core, um, because I think in upper body everything is good, but I think my core is lacking. So yeah, at the moment, just focused on bringing up my core. With the single leg dragon flag as well, make sure that the leg that is bent is not all the way into your chest, because that's a bit problematic. You don't want it to be completely um, like or overly bent. Basically, you just want to have like a little bend in your knee, as you can see here, and then the other leg completely straight, obviously. And then yeah, just lower down until your fully straight leg is just above the floor. And obviously, you're not going to be able to know if it is or not. So what you can do is just lightly tap the floor, and then after you lightly tap the floor, bring your leg back up. I felt like this was a good way to transition into the uh, you know, not second part of my workout, but into the second set. Just go from single leg to the full dragon flag and just do negatives. Hurt myself a little bit there because this is quite a demanding movement on the lower back as well, actually. Especially if you go all the way down, you'll feel it. I personally feel it there, and yeah, it's a good sign because it means that I'm strengthening my lower back too. The whole point of doing these dragon flags as well is to actually develop some control and do the negative to the point where you're coming down slowly and you're actually manipulating your body weight basically 100%. So when you first start doing this, you'll just be controlling the negative, but eventually you'll get so strong that you'll be able to bring your legs down wherever you want and bring them back up. So that's basically the target, to have complete control over your body weight. Um, and I think a lot of people don't actually do that with calisthenics. They just kind of submit themselves, as in they just allow gravity to win. But I think personally that your goal should always be to be able to control your body weight 100%. So, um, yeah, just bear that in mind. If you're training calisthenics, yes, it does require more strength, but I think if you can demonstrate control, then you're also going to be stronger. Um, so yeah, slow negatives is always a good idea, and another thing is something like this where you do a harder movement and then you basically go into an easier movement. So as you can see here with the leg flutters, I'm doing them as quick as I can just to get the basically fast twitch muscle fibers firing. So yeah, essentially slow reps, fast reps, do a combination. Here I'm doing front lever raises, but I'm allowing my feet to touch the floor at the bottom, and I'm doing like a pause. The reason for this is because eventually I want to be doing the front lever raise with a slow negative and come back into this position here before going into the next rep. And I'll be doing it on the high bar that you can see there. So as you can see, I'm doing it on the middle bar, and in the future I'll be doing it on the high bar so my feet don't touch the ground. The problem that most people encounter, and they don't even know it, is that they allow and they let themselves kind of use momentum to pull their body weight up. But I want to do it so that I am in this starting position before every single rep. So it's only my lats muscle that is going to be pulling my body weight up. Um, if I let my legs swing behind me and then use that momentum, I'm not going to be using muscle to move my legs. I'm going to actually be using momentum. But anyway, here's a drop set. So basically the front lever raise and then go into a tucked front lever hold, or tucked front lever raise actually. This is really good because it really got my back fired up. And yeah, it was not easy at all. So that's also good as well. Another tip for anyone watching is always try to focus on challenge and uh, to realize that challenge equals change. So sometimes people say, "Oh, pull-ups were easy for me yesterday, but today they're hard." That's good because basically what you want to do is train them, for example, until it doesn't actually challenge you anymore. Then that way you know you mastered it, but also you know that you can move on to something that's harder and that can challenge you instead. So just seek out challenge more and um, realize that with challenge comes change. So yeah, pretty much this is the front lever raise with a pause at the bottom, and then I'm going into the front lever tuck, as you can see here. Yeah, front lever. To be honest, that 6'2" is not that easy, and it will probably take longer than somebody who's shorter and lighter because I'm not really skinny either. So yeah, front lever is proving to be difficult, but I think in the long term, it's definitely worth it because if I can front lever, I know that my back gains will be super high, basically, and any pulling movement will become a lot easier as a result of my ability to hold the front lever and defy gravity. So yeah, if anyone's watching and they want to basically learn how this should be done, make sure to keep your arms completely straight. As you can see, um, before each rep, I set myself and then I lean back and I lift my legs up. So when you lean back, you really want to make sure that your arms are straight and that you're leaning back as much as possible. When you do that, your legs are going to come up and you're going to be holding a nice straight position. The worst thing you can do is bend your arms because when you bend your arms, you're actually making it more similar to a pull up, which is what you don't want to do. The point of the front lever is that you keep your arms straight, and that's why it's a straight arm skill. It's not actually something that you do reps on, you just hold the position. So you definitely want to train your front lever raises exactly the same way that you're going to hold the front lever position because the way that you do the exercises that mimic the skill that you're trying to learn is going to be the same way that you do the skill. So even though I'm not doing the front lever itself, eventually I will be, and I would have practiced and trained with a straight arm position in my front lever raises and tuck front lever hold. So essentially, what you're trying to do is practice the same way that you're going to perform, if that makes sense, even if you don't perform. But yeah, I think you get what I mean. So finally, I moved on to some bent arm handstand presses. At the moment, I'm working the handstand press up negatives. But even then, as I said before, if it challenges you, it changes you. So I'm not just going to be rigid, as in with my mentality and black and white, just do handstand press up negatives and nothing else. I still feel some good pressure on my shoulders from pike press ups, which is a beginner or basic exercise. So I'm still going to do them regardless of what level the exercise is supposed to be. If on that day I feel like it's challenging me, then I'm going to do it. So that's the thing. Don't use your ego. Put it to the side and just keep training those basics if they challenge you on that certain day. With that being said, this exercise builds tremendous shoulder strength and power. This is why I like it a lot. And yeah, pike press ups, to be honest, I've done so many of them, so they do help a lot. And here's a bent arm press. I think I got the handstand on this one. Yeah, so I managed to lock out the handstand on that one. And then I actually went for a handstand press up. But as I said, um, I'm working on the handstand press up negative at the moment because a good way to learn any skill is to actually do the negative of it. This works for pull ups, it works for dips, it works for any movement, even press ups that you want to learn. If you're not strong enough to do reps of the movement itself, just do it slowly on the negative. And yeah, pretty much it's working a lot because for me, for example, for handstand press up, I can do it, but I can't do a lot of reps on it. So what I'm going to do is just do like slow negatives and familiarize myself with the movement. And as you can see here, I'm doing pike press ups because yeah, pike press ups really do build some good shoulder strength. And eventually in the future, I want to be doing pike press into handstand, which is what you saw earlier in this clip. So Essentially for now, I'll just keep doing pike press ups, and then eventually I'll be so strong that at the bottom of the pike press ups, my feet will just come off the ground and I'll push into a handstand. So here, like for example, at the start of the set, I'm pushing a lot, so my feet just come off the ground and I push into the handstand. Eventually, I want all the sets to be like this, and even adding handstand press ups into each set. So that was just like a slow negative. Here's another press to handstand. I believe I fell out, yeah, of that one. But that's all part of the practice. You have to fail before you reach success. So yeah, pretty much it's another day at the outdoor park.